Hello. In this lesson, I want you to solve I want you to solve exponential equations and inequalities. We're going to start here when we talk about a exponential equation. If the bases are the same, and that's the key, if the bases are the same, then the exponents have to be the same. So if the bases are the same, the exponents have to be the same. So I give you an example here. If you have 3 to the x equals 3 to the 5th, well, that tells me my exponents, x has to equal 5. We're going to do that by making sure our bases are the same. So if we look at example 1 here, I've got 2 to the x equals 8 to the 3rd. Notice my bases aren't the same right now. I need to make them the same. So what I'm going to do is kind of like I'm looking for a common factor. Can I write 8 as a power of 2? And if I can't, can I write both of them as a power of something else? Well, in this case, 8 is a power of 2. So I'm going to say 2 to the x equals, well, 8 is 2 to the 3rd. Then I raise that to the 3rd power. Now I use my power of exponents, my product of a power. That is, we multiply our bases together. So 2 to the 3rd raised to the 3rd power is the same thing as 2 to the 9th. 3 times 3 is 9. And so in other words, x equals 9. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. I've got 9 to the 2x minus 1 equals 3 to the 2x power. So I look at the one with the smaller base, 3. Can I write 9 as a power of 3? Sure I can. So 9 is 3 squared. Then I'm going to raise that to the 2x minus 1 power. That equals 3 to the 6x power. We multiply our bases together. Multiply the exponents when you take a power of a power. So distribute that 2, so you get 3 to the 4x minus 2 power equals 3 to the 6x power. So now you've got make an equation out of your exponents. So 4x minus 2 equals 6x. Then, to solve for x, well, let's just add 2 to both sides. Well, it can't add 2, I'm sorry. Let's subtract 4x from both sides, because you want all the x's on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So bring down the negative 2. Don't forget your negative sign when you bring it down. 6x minus 4x is 2x. So at this point, we'll divide both sides by 2. And negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, which equals x. And there's your answer. Okay, and example 3. This is what we did yesterday. Yesterday, in the previous lesson, I should say, I gave you the exponential equation and I asked you to graph it. Well, now today, I'm going to give you the data and I want you to write the exponential equation. Remember what we said yesterday was, or in the previous lesson, y equals a times b to the x power. If we read the question here, it says, in 2010, the population of Phoenix was 1,445,632. By 2015, it was estimated at 1,563,025. Write an exponential function that can be used to model the population of Phoenix. Write x in the terms of the number of years since 2010. That's our key here. When we define our variable, s is going to be the years from 2010. And then after we're done with that, we want to predict the population of Phoenix in 2015. So we're going to have two answers here. First, we're going to come up with our equation. Then we're going to use that equation to predict the population in 2025. So we know we're going to start with 1,445,632. That's going to be the year 2010. So that's where we start. Well, in 2015, 5 years later, we're at 1,563,025. So I think that's what I'll put here. I'll say 1,563,025 equals our starting population, 1,445,632, times, I don't know what B is. That's my growth rate. That's what we're going to find out. And we're going to raise that. Well, how many years is it from 2010 to 2015? Well, that would be 5 years. Well, now we're just going to solve for B so we can write our equation. So I'm going to divide both sides by 1,445,632. Don't be surprised if you get some ugly numbers here. So 1,445,632. Let's use the calculator for that. And in the calculator, if I've taken it, notice I get 1.0588, I'll say. So 1.0588 equals B to the 5th power. Well, what do I do to solve for B? I take the 5th root of both sides. So I'm going to take the 5th root of 1.0588. So on my calculator, the 5th root is in the second column, second row. It's the one with the little n on it. So I'll put my 5 for my index. Then I'm going to take the 5th root of 1.0588, which I'm going to just type in answer. And notice that gives me 1.011. I'll go out 3 decimal places. So in other words, B is 1.011. So now I can write my equation. My equation then is I'm going to say Y equals A, which is 1,445,632 times, ran out of room here, 1.011 raised to the 5th power. Now to find my answer for the second question, predict the population in 2025. Well, how many years is it from 2010 to 2025? Well, that'll be 15 years. So I'm going to take 1,445,632. I'm going to take that times 1.011. I'm going to raise that to the 5th power. So let's use our calculator for that. So I'm going to take 1,445,632. I'm going to take that times 1.011. That is my answer on my calculator. I'm going to raise that to the 15th power. So we should get a population of 1,715,896 because we have to round to the nearest whole number. So 1,700 and let me see, put it 715,896. I should change that to an approximately equal to because we're making some assumptions here. We're assuming it's going to keep on growing at the same rate for those 15 years. They're going to have enough water. They're not going to have any natural disasters, things like that.